To understand the C-scan scheduling algorithm, we first have to look at the hardware it commands: a physical hard drive platter spinning at high speed, with a mechanical actuator arm darting back and forth across the magnetic surface to retrieve data. Because tracking rotational geometry is complex, we abstract this physical movement into a flat mathematical model. We represent the disk surface as a one-dimensional number line, starting at cylinder 0 on the outer edge and running to cylinder 199. Let's set our initial condition. The read-write head is currently parked at cylinder 53. Above this line is our disk queue, 8 specific data requests waiting to be serviced by the drive. They are arriving out of physical order. This is where the C-scan, or circular scan algorithm, applies its defining rule. The read arm is restricted to sweeping in a single continuous direction. The circular part of the name dictates what happens at the boundary. When the arm hits the absolute end, it does not reverse course to read local data. It jumps back to cylinder 0 to start the sweep over again. Our objective is to calculate the precise mechanical cost, the total head movement, required to process these 8 requests under those strict one-way rules. We begin by establishing our operational direction. For this calculation, the head is moving toward the higher numbered cylinders, to the right. With a fixed direction, we have to split the disorganized queue into 2 distinct operational arrays, based on their position relative to cylinder 53. First, we identify the targets that lie directly in the path of the initial sweep. These 6 requests, 65, 67, 98, 122, 124, and 183, will be picked up on the first pass. That leaves the remaining requests, 14 and 37. Because they sit behind the starting position, they are bypassed for now and must wait for the next cycle. The queue is now logically sorted and sequenced for a C-scan execution run. Failing to properly divide and sort the array before calculating is the most common reason for incorrect results on an exam. The split is a mandatory first step. Watch the execution track as we log the exact distance between cylinders. The arm shifts from 53 to the first request at 65, moving 12 cylinders. It steps forward to 67, adding 2 cylinders. The head sweeps out to 98, a distance of 31. Continuing right, it reaches 122 for another 24 cylinders. A minor adjustment to the adjacent track at 124 yields a distance of 2. Finally, the arm executes a longer sweep to 183, adding 59 cylinders to the ledger. Cylinder 183 is the last requested data point on this side of the disk. However, the first phase of the C-scan execution is not finished. By rule, the algorithm dictates the head must continue moving past the final request to the physical boundary of the disk, cylinder 199. Log this distance, or you won't reach the correct total movement. Having hit the edge, the algorithm forces a hard reset. The drive head immediately swings all the way back across the platter to cylinder 0. During this return trip, the read-write mechanism is functionally blind. It does not pause, and it services 0 requests on the way back. Even though no data is read, the mechanical movement still occurs. You must log the distance from 199 back to 0. That is a 199 cylinder penalty. This reset cost is the defining characteristic of C-scan. It is an intentional mechanical sacrifice made to alter the drive's performance profile. Positioned back at 0, the head resumes its standard rightward sweep. It targets the first remaining item, stopping at 14, logging 14 cylinders. Then it makes its final movement to 37. We log the final 23 cylinders of travel. This completes the scheduling path. We now turn to the ledger to sum up every stepwise movement recorded during the cycle. Adding those distances together gives us the algorithm's absolute cost. The total head movement equals exactly 382 cylinders. Exams frequently require a second metric, average seek time. To find this, we take our total movement of 382 and divide it by the 8 raw data requests. The result is an average of 47.75 cylinders. These 2 figures represent the mechanical toll of processing this exact queue using a circular sweep. Look at this comparison chart showing the total head movement for our queue across different algorithms. C-SCAN stands high at 382 cylinders. That is significantly more expensive than shortest seek time first and standard scan, which both cost 236 cylinders. Why would an operating system designer deploy an algorithm that requires 146 extra cylinders of mechanical movement compared to standard scan? The answer lies in a flaw of standard scan. Because it sweeps back and forth in both directions, it crosses the middle of the disk twice as often as it reaches the edges. This bias creates unpredictable wait times. Requests near the center are serviced quickly and repeatedly, while data located at the physical extremes suffers from starvation. C-SCAN absorbs the reset penalty specifically to remove this bias. By sweeping in only one direction, it ensures uniform response times across the entire disk surface. The algorithm sacrifices raw mechanical efficiency to guarantee that no single data request waits significantly longer than any other. To execute this correctly on an exam, follow these procedural rules. First, confirm your initial direction. Never chart a movement until you establish whether the head is moving toward cylinder 0 or cylinder 199. Second, do not stop your calculation at the final data request. Always extend the path to the physical limit of the disk. And third, log the return jump. The distance from the outer boundary back to 0 must be included in your final sum. The core lesson remains, in operating system design, achieving uniform response times often requires a deliberate, calculated trade-off in mechanical efficiency.